technical foul.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Technically Foul. I'm Jon Carden, and that is
Brandon Legendre.
Welcome back. Enjoy this episode. Like, share, subscribe. In this episode, we will definitely be talking about our fantasy woes and our fantasy bros. So please make sure you tune in. Check us out. We've got all kinds of fun things on this episode of Technically Foul. We love you. Boom.
All right, well, to get into it, it's funny. We've forgotten to talk about our fantasy team on here for the last 3 weeks or
we
2
did
weeks.
because I didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
That was part of the reason I didn't want to bring it up. It's because we were on a 3-win streak,
Mm-hmm.
and on our 3-win streak, things were fucking popping, okay? Chris Godwin was the number 2 receiver in the NFL. Bowers was coming out looking like a fucking stud at tight end for us.
Yeah.
We had Bijan. We signed Kareem Hunt, who ended up becoming a fucking superstar for us.
Yeah.
We were making moves and killing it. And then this weekend happened.
Yeah, I mean, God, dude, to go from 0-4 to 3-4 in a league that has a ton of 2-5 teams,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we have a legit shot
Of making the playoffs.
to make playoffs, to compete for playoffs, to be a good team, and then to lose. I know Ayuk sucked, but
Buddy, we're claiming Purcell right now,
yeah,
who just got shot in the fucking chest.
yeah,
Okay, that's where we are
Mhm.
in our fantasy realm,
Mhm.
in our fantasy world. We're claiming a man that got shot in the chest this season. That's how desperate we are at wide receiver.
Yeah.
We lost Chris Godwin. Buddy, you weren't watching the game.
I looked it up.
You weren't watching. I was watching it live, Brandon.
You could not have jinxed it worse. I think you literally
Brandon,
go.
I jinxed it so fucking bad, Brandon. Brandon, why? Why did I do that? I texted Brandon literally minutes before Chris Godwin got injured.
Mhm.
And I said, best decisions that we've made this season. Number 1, Godwin. And 4 minutes later, dude, I don't know if have you ever seen Boys in the Hood?
Yes.
Do you remember when Ricky gets shot?
Yes.
That's the way I reacted when Chris Godwin went down.
Like collapse to your knees, like the way he falls down.
Buddy, I mean,
Just Chris, no.
dude, when Godwin went down, it was one of the saddest moments of my day.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a death in the family.
Oh, jeez.
You know? That's how sad. That's how sad I was about Chris Godwin going down. It was like watching Tower 2 fall.
Wow. That's yeah. I mean,
That
it did feel like that.
That's the best player on our fantasy team. We're
Oh,
on a
yeah.
3-win streak. I mean, hands down the best player. He's the reason that we've had the 3-win
He
streak.
was like the number 3 receiver in fantasy this year.
Absolutely.
He was really
He's number
good.
2 receiver in fantasy.
Yeah. He was so fucking good. And then his ankle exploded.
Buddy, it is gone.
I saw the video because you were like, I turned it off to watch the Chargers game, which, by the way, what the fuck is an ESPN exclusive game? Why is everything in a fucking exclusive game? Why do I have 85 apps to watch 6 games?
Buddy, it is insane.
It pissed me off because I couldn't do I pay for YouTube TV. I pay for Red Zone. My parents pay for Red Zone. My parents pay for YouTube TV. My parents pay for the package.
I forget that you're in your 20s until you say shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, Dad took me off his insurance plan, and I'm like, wait. We had such different lives, dude.
Mhm.
We had
Yeah.
such different lives.
Yeah.
My mom was on my insurance plan until I was 25.
Yeah, we do have definitely not the same. Cause mine's like I've offered to pay and they're just like, well, we're still gonna pay for ours. So if you like want to go be a hero and bite on your own, go ahead. Or you can keep using ours. I'm like, all right, well,
Thanks, Mom.
I'm not gonna fucking
Jeez.
fight that. Yeah, okay, sure.
Can I have some gushers too?
Yeah. Get the Scooby Snack ones. I hate when they have door on it. I'm not a girl.
Mom. Oh, I love it.
Do you think I'm gonna have to punish kids like if they call things like that girls? Like I'll be like, you can't do that anymore.
You think punishing your kids?
Yeah, like they can't be like those fruit snacks are for girls. I have to be like, you're progressive. Guess this isn't sports related. I'll cut this from the pod.
No. Let's keep with this. I'm on with this because I'm a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't do the thing where it's like boy girl thing.
Yeah.
I don't really like. They do it on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My girls like makeup and skincare, and my son likes boxing and fucking football.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't really have to do anything And I didn't enforce it. I just did the shit that I liked, and my son ended up doing the shit that I like.
That's cool.
So it's, yeah, I mean, he puts on boxing gloves and goes in his room and shadow boxes for an hour. It's great.
What if he did it in a dress?
That would be kind of cool.
That would be sick. I mean, some of those boxer pants already look like dresses, the really frilly ones that like Deontay Wilder wears and stuff.
Yeah.
He could be the next.
Here's the thing. If he wants to be a trans boxer, here's the way I look at it, okay? If you're boxing in like dude clothes, you might be a champion one day.
Yeah.
If you're boxing in girl clothes as a dude, pretty good chance you're gonna be a champion one day.
You're gonna be an Olympian.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a gold medalist very easily.
I mean, this is the current nature of things.
Yeah.
I don't think that my son really likes boxing because he's never been hit in the face.
Yeah, every kid loves Rocky and thinks it's amazing, and you get gloves and you box with your dad who doesn't fucking cross-check you in the face when you drop your hands.
Well, other dads don't.
Other dad, yeah.
I'm training a warrior here, okay?
Yeah, you're training a winner, my bad.
Yeah.
All the loser-ass fucking dads, they don't do that. But then...
Keep your fucking hands up.
Yeah. And the first time you get hit in the face, it stops becoming fun. The first time you get a jab to the nose...
Dude... I remember we were playing boxing. Me and this kid across the street, and we put on the gloves and we went to go fucking box, and I hit him square in the nose.
Nice.
And he just drops, and he was like, "I didn't realize we were punching for real." I'm like, "I didn't realize we were faking this. I thought we were like it was a disconnect."
Yeah. Me and all my friends would we would wrestle. And it was like all fun, and then there was like the one kid that like ended up being a varsity wrestler and was pretty good, and even from a kid was like the one that would fuck you up. Like I figured out early on that when it would be like my turn to wrestle him, if I could go for the joke where I'd try and do like an insane move that would immediately result in me getting like pinned for the loss, that was better than trying to have like a grudge match with this kid and getting my ass really whooped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taking the funny one where it's like, oh, Brandon lost, but he tried to like 360 no scope his ass. That's funny. That's what I would go for instead of being like, I'd watch all these people be like, I can beat him, and they would wrestle for like 10 minutes and it'd end with like their face in the mud being like, fucking tap, and I'd be like, oh man, I'm the smart one here. This is the right choice. I'm the smart cuck.
Did you ever see Terrence Crawford, the interview about his mom?
No.
It's you should look it up. It's not real great, for the podcast right now. But I can basically sum it up. His mom never told him that she loved him.
Oh.
Never like really showed him any affection.
Yeah.
Turned him into a fucking warrior. And she would pay $10 to anybody on the street that could whoop him. And buddy, nobody whooped him.
Damn, broke-ass mom.
Nobody ever came and got that $10. Not a single fucking soul. And I mean...
Was she a good trainer, or was she really pissed?
I mean...
Do you think she was like, seriously, no one?
It's like where you get in with nature versus nurture, right? And what's better? Letting them survive with the wolves, or, bringing them up and coddling them?
Yeah.
What's better? Because if you want a boxer, if you want a professional boxer, you don't... a lot less nurture and a lot more nature.
Facts.
If you want a doctor, a lot more nurture and a lot less nature. Depends on what do you want.
How much do you want to say I love you? Is going to change, are they a boxer or a doctor?
Also, how much do you want to be able to actually say the words I love you in your 50s?
Yeah.
Let that dictate whether you want to be a doctor or a boxer. Let that be what navigates you.
Yeah, let that be the deciding factor.
I loved what Andre Ward said. He was on Rogan a while ago, and he's like, if you're walking into a gym with your kid, and this is true because I'm a dad, and when it comes to my son, I care about his brain. I've had 5 concussions.
Yeah.
I know what they do, and I don't want that for my son.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I've taught him, I don't teach him how to throw punches, man. I teach him, how to move. It's constant defense, move, defense, because I would rather my kid learn how to not get hit than learn how to get hit or learn how to hit.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think that's what we have to teach first, more than anything, is defense.
Discipline.
Yeah,
respect,
because you're only going to take so many shots to the head. There's only so many in your career. I mean, John Bones Jones came out recently and was talking about, how he completely changed his style. And how he was taking a lot of shots to the head in practice and, in training that he didn't need to take, for his longevity.
But yeah, to jump us back into fantasy talk, our fantasy team went from like we were horrible shit, had like given up on the season essentially, accepted that we were going to come in last. The last place punishment in our thing, since we're all comics, is we have to do a set written by other comics, which is just going to be crazy and bad and not something at all that we want to do. So I mean, I was excited. We thought playoffs, and then we lose Ayuk, we lose Godwin.
We just dropped Richardson.
We just dropped Richardson, who was like, he's not hurt, but he's not worth keeping on the roster anymore, like at all. Like he's someone you're comfortable dropping, and if someone really wants to pick him up and stash him, go ahead. But we need to have someone because Purdy's solid. He's like the number 9 fantasy overall quarterback, but. Now with Debo got hospitalized for pneumonia today, so
Christian McCaffrey's still out.
Juwan Jennings is banged up. Ricky Purcell's coming off getting fucking 50-cented. Like he's a half walking corpse. And
we should just rename Christian McCaffrey Achilles.
Yeah.
He is the modern day Achilles.
He really is. Yeah, he is he's big, buff.
Yeah, he's like the perfect fucking running back warrior, whatever you want to call it. Like he's Brad Pitt in Troy.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Fuck. Yeah, his Achilles is his one fucking weakness.
It's the one thing that has held him back.
Especially if it like ends his career, then he has to be known as Achilles.
He's known as Achilles
Fast
forever.
Running guy. Yeah, like he totally would have played him in like a 2012 biopic of Achilles.
Absolutely.
That's the exact actor you see coming in as him.
I could see Christian McCaffrey destroying fucking Hector outside the gates of Troy. I can see it.
Yeah.
Just dragging him behind his chariot.
Yeah, the evil gladiator dictator is Kyle Shanahan. Ruining his life. You're getting too many carries, Achilles. He said, please, give me some off time, please.
Hector of Troy is just the only other white running back we can think of. It's fucking Peyton Hillis.
Yeah, talk about a guy who concussions are going to affect him later in life. That's going to be a rough one. But he was on the cover of Madden.
Dude, for one season, Peyton Hillis was the great white hope. For one season.
I know there's like the Madden curse where players get hurt, but he is like the hardest fall off of anyone that's ever been.
Yeah.
Because his career was legit, I feel like, for a season,
I mean, that's kind of like Carson Steele for the Chiefs. Yeah, I kind of feel like he's more Peyton Hillis 2.0 than anybody. Because, I mean, really,
but not even close production-wise.
No, I think Steele's a bust. I'm not for him. I don't think he's like...
Oh, he already lost out to Kareem Hunt. He's
Kareem
buried
Hunt
on the depth chart. Well, because Peyton Hillis had he played 2 years with Denver, logged less than 100 carries combined in both first 2 seasons that he was there. Then he goes to Cleveland and he gets 270 carries, runs for 1,117 yards. He has 477 receiving yards. He has 11 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving, so 13 touchdowns. I mean, the funny thing is it was a cool story and thing. Those are not insane stats.
No.
Those are not cover of Madden stats, for it to be, I mean, 13 touchdowns on the season. Raheem Mostert had like 22 last season.
Yeah.
Henry's
on track to have how many right now? Like fucking 30?
Yeah, he scored every game.
Yeah.
So at this point, I mean, yeah, because then immediately he falls off. The next year he has 587 yards, then 309, then 247, and then he's out of the league by 2014. He only had a 6-year career, Yeah. No disrespect, but I mean, still, only started 14 games that 2010
He probably never
season.
got a big contract either.
I can't imagine. Yeah, and he retired due to his doctor's wishes with the history of his concussions for potential future injury and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he said his heart wasn't in it anymore, but still.
Something I was thinking about the other day?
Mm-hmm.
How many occupations do you see in the world where you know exactly what they are making and the contract length, the amount, the signing bonus, the guaranteed, the incentives? Like, could you imagine like knowing your doctor was signed to a 6-year, $140 million contract?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine knowing that your plumber just signed a 3-year, $200,000 contract with Roto-Rooter?
That would be awesome, like harassing him like your doctor. You're like, what do you mean you won't prescribe me Vicodin? Look at the money we're paying you.
Look at the money we're paying you, dude.
The city of Buffalo? That's my tax dollars.
Dude, you got to hit your Vicodin incentives so that you can get that money on the contract. Imagine if you knew that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like football, the NFL, NBA, like professional sports is the only occupation. I thought about this last night.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only occupation I could really think of other than maybe actors. And even actors, it's like it's kind of under the rug a little bit as far as what they're making. They're not sure you can find out.
Yeah.
But it's not like you Google
it's
Baker Mayfield. It's good. His contract you can get it in 2 clicks.
You can find out how much they make like per play, per minute. They do all those breakdowns and stuff.
Absolutely.
But then it's not in anything else.
What a way to taunt the common man.
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen anything quite like. I thought about it so much last night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is such a way to fuck with just normal people. Where it's like, hey, look at this perfect specimen of a human being that gets to play this game that you're not good enough to play. You have to be a fan of it, okay? And not only is he going to be better looking than you, okay, more athletic than you, have a better looking wife than you, a better house than you, a better car than you, better insurance than you, better access to medical care than you, better everything than you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you exactly how much more money he makes than you every fucking year.
Yeah, you could. Hey, you know how you root for him and he determines your happiness? He makes what 6 of your jobs make in 1 year.
Absolutely.
Hey, in 20 years, you can make what he makes in this contract. So get over yourself.
Now go be a fan, bitch.
Yeah. It is pretty fucking demoralizing. Now, I argue, though, I don't think you would want that to be public knowledge for normal people.
No.
Could you imagine, like, you're talking to some girl at the bar and she's like, hey, I'm going to use the restroom real quick. And she comes back out and she goes, you make $21,000 a year? And you're like, no. Roto-Rooter, that website's always inaccurate. And she's like, oh, my God, it says you only clocked in 30 hours last week. You're not even full-time? Like, I'm chasing a dream, okay? Imagine being on stage performing as a comedian. Someone heckles you and they're like, bro, you're only making $2 a minute for this set, pussy. You're like, oh, fuck, I am, dude.
I know.
Why am I here right now?
I know. If it happened to anybody else, it would be so sad.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, could you imagine if everybody had an ESPN player card? And you could just pull it up real quick? Oh, shit, barista. Fucking, he's second string.
Yeah. What if it had a second string barista? It's so embarrassing. Well, when I look at the league average, they pour 4 coffees per minute. You're only pouring 2. That's embarrassing.
Yep. You go in and order a frap, and they pull up the thing on the arm, the quarterback thing. It's like, I don't have the plays memorized.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to start.
Yeah. That would be just funny seeing like someone's play. You're like, oh my God, your FICO score is only 520 and you've jerked off 12 times this month? It's October 5th, asshole. That's 2 times a day minimum. You're like, it's been a tough week, all right?
All right, that's it. Everybody's getting an ESPN player card.
I would like that. Yeah, what would be the most, because like on a normal player card, you'd have height, weight. We could keep that. That would be interesting. We could have occupation, that's position. We could have your salary, and then we need like yards, catches. We need like what? FICO score.
Oh, FICO score, divorces.
Yeah, that's like your team list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, wow, John's only been with 3 teams. He's like an unused free agent. This is great.
He signed with the Amandas in 2012. He got released in 2016.
Wow,
got picked up by the Rachels.
Yeah, but I heard with the Amandas, it was a mutual parting of ways. They felt like the contract just wasn't working out between them.
No, he was underperforming.
He was underperforming.
He was underperforming.
Yeah, I heard he couldn't get up on game day. That was the real reason.
Could not get up on game day.
It came out later after the breakup. It was not mutual. It was a lack of performance. They tried to get him on PEDs. He refused.
3 kid surgeries.
3 kids.
Hard to come back from 3 kid surgeries.
That is true.
This took a turn for the fucking real, dude.
Yeah, it went from a fun card to just being like, let's expose everyone's dirt.
Yeah, I know. We just paparazzi'd it.
Yeah, that would suck. What would be, I was thinking about this last night. Who do you think, if you had to pick 2 coaches and 2 players, what would be your dream blunt rotation of players and coaches?
Oh, Ricky Williams is number 1.
See, I was like, Ricky probably has to be in there.
Yeah, Ricky's number 1 for me. I mean, he just had the most iconic line of all time when it came to weed. And they're
Mhm.
like, would you rather smoke dope or play football? And he goes, I like weed.
Yeah.
I really like weed.
And then even like they go, Ricky, you failed your drug test. And he goes, yeah, I got high and forgot I wasn't supposed to get high.
Yeah.
It's like, that's an all-time quote right there.
Yep.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but that's an all-time quote. To call back to our fat athletes episode of last week, we need Andy Reid in there. He's my first coach taken, I think, because he's going to have the best munchies, the best snacks. I want to hear that walrus laugh when he's faded too.
Yeah,
You know what I
Andy Reid
mean?
would be fun to smoke with. And you know he would be like a teenager
Yeah.
because he probably would never smoke.
Yeah.
So he's just like, man, pass the Funyuns.
Yeah, something would be pleasant too about his like plump red face, just smiling,
I know.
giggling. You get to look at his nice floral shirt. It's something cool to stare at while you're high. Like
well,
that.
let's be honest. Andy Reid's gonna do edibles.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah.
can eat it, he'll
Mhm.
eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's a way to consume something he loves through food, he's gonna do it.
They're like, they're like, hey, Andy, we got you a beer. He's like, I'd rather have a beer cake.
Yeah.
Can you put that beer in a cake?
Who would be your next choice for
Smoke rotation?
Yeah,
Johnny Football.
Johnny Football would be a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having him like he'd be a good guy to hold court, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
You need a guy to like kind of ramble and tell a story for everyone to be like, "Oh, whoa, oh, yeah."
And you know he's got the craziest stories.
Mhm.
I would say Ocho Cinco would get on my nerves.
He'd be too much.
It's too much.
He'd be too much.
Same way for Shannon Sharp. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to smoke with. I think.
As an Eagles fan, and this guy's a known stoner, this is a more low-key one, I'd love to smoke with Chris Long. He'd be a great one.
Yeah.
He's always seems the vibes on the podcast. He seems like a cool guy. When he retired, it just came out that he was just like fat stoner, like was all the time, like pen in his locker, knew the schedule of drug testing and how to get around it and all that. I'm like, that's fun. You know me too. I also like to pick like a weird one, like with the Joey Chestnut pick of last week. Because listen, we're gonna assume that if we're smoking with these people, they're gonna have smoked as much as we think they would.
Yeah.
So the guy I'm gonna pick, I don't think he's ever really smoked. But you ever like smoked with someone and then they start saying weird stuff and you get to watch how like a normal person's mind gets weird?
Yeah.
I want to smoke with Bill Belichick.
Oh.
I want Bill Belichick to break out of his like serious
That's a good
moment.
pick.
Like him to take a hit and he's not said anything and then he just goes like,
That's a good pick.
yeah, imagine like him breaking the silence with he's like, why do I rip all the sleeves off my jackets? It's fucking stupid. I'm banging a 22-year-old. Like, I want to see pictures of her. Like, he would be that kind of weird guy where I'd like to see him not be normal Bill Belichick for a minute.
So you don't think Bill Belichick smoked when he had to deal with Rob Gronkowski? You don't think, Coach, Gronk's here. He's like,
I could see, I think Belichick strikes me as like a wine and half a Xanax guy.
oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's when so Belichick takes wine, half a Xanax, sits in his he has a chair way too big for him, leather. He looks kind of tiny in it. And he sits there, and every morning his alarm goes off at like 4:30 in the morning, and he goes, he wipes the drool off his face. He sees the empty wine glass. He took his wine and Xanax, and on a board are just a bunch of plays that he has no idea when he made these last night, but those are the plays that win him a Super Bowl later.
Absolutely.
All of Belichick's plays, as best plays, are from a wine and Xanax-induced blackout. Where he comes up with it.
I wonder how many coaches have like a method like that. You know what I mean? Like certain artists do.
Yeah,
where they like lock themselves in a black room and whatever they put out, they put out. And I think that would be cool as shit to find out that like some coaches are like throwing mattresses against the wall butt naked. You know, like Sirianni strikes me as a guy that plays Russian roulette before games.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Just him shaving his head.
Yeah. Click. Yeah. I see
Another
it.
week with the team, I guess. Another week with the team. I so could. Yeah, Sirianni shaving his head. I can see it clear as fucking day. Real psychopath shit. I could also see like Dan Campbell definitely like does whippets in his living room and makes those. He just takes out whipped cream bottle, just.
I disagree.
What if we lateral it to Penny Sewell?
I disagree.
After the guy caught it.
No. Dan Campbell dips his fucking fist in coffee and just licks it off like a man, okay?
Yeah, because he's like, I am a lion. This is what lions would do.
Who else would be fun to smoke with? I think that like some of the old heads, now that they've retired, like smoking with like Jerry Rice would be fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. This is a bad answer and clipped out of context. Or this just might be a bad idea. I want to smoke with one of like a Terry Bradshaw or a Brett Favre who like just can't stop saying crazy shit. But like we need to stop giving them microphones because they can't stop saying crazy shit. I want to give them a blunt and have them break the silence and be like, why do gay people sound like that? And you're like, oh, all right, this is what we're doing in the smoke circle right now is you're just going to start, because it's harmless. We're not going to go spread this gospel. They're not teaching hate, but I do like when you watch someone lose
Terry
their
Bradshaw
mind.
Be like, is there a button in your asshole that makes your voice go, eek?
Yeah, but he means he's like curious. He's really high and curious. He wants to know.
But you need to ask these questions. That's the thing I hate most about society is everybody wants you to have all the knowledge, but they want to shame you for asking the questions.
Yeah.
It's like, no. If you want me to know, then I get to know the things I want to know too.
Yeah, how else am I supposed to learn if I don't ask?
Yeah, and also you don't get me you don't get to control this. You don't get to control me knowing just the things that you want me to know.
Yeah.
No, you want me to know it. I want to know all of it. Every piece of it.
Yeah.
I want to know about the love button in the asshole. Teach me.
Yeah.
Not firsthand.
No.
I don't want on the job training.
Like a diagram or like
classroom environment.
Yeah, or
classroom
like we
environment.
make a model with like a banana and like I don't know 2 grapes.
Some
or
paper
whatever.
mache.
Yeah, paper mache. We have pretty intricate paper mache to find the G spot.
All I need is 2 balloons and a
like
little bit of time.
those things you can the trapper claws where you like go like 1, 2, 3, 4 and then you open it and like it's like that's like what you use for the asshole. You're like, hey, you go top left, right there, and now it's open and there's the G spot. Be an intricate little thing to make. Drop my fucking phone. Yeah, I can't think really too much of any other coaches or players. I'm sure there's people we're forgetting. You know what I mean? Because I also don't like you don't want to pick the guys that are necessarily getting in trouble for weed. Like Ricky Williams is like, he's like the Bob Marley of like weed smoking athletes.
Of the NFL,
so you pick him. I don't really want to smoke with Josh Gordon.
No, he gave up too much for weed.
Yeah, it bums me out too much.
Yeah, he gave up too much for weed.
No. You know what I'd like to get high? I'd like to get high with Ricky Williams and whoever was the GM that traded their entire draft that year from the Saints to get Ricky Williams.
That was Mike Ditka.
Mike Ditka? Oh, cool. Dude, I can knock out all 3 there. So we got Ricky Williams. I want to hear him and Mike Ditka just be like, bro, that trade was dumb as fuck. And he's like, that was crazy, man. Yeah. But then also Mike Ditka probably going to say the crazy racist things. We get all we want right there.
You know, there's a crazy story about Mike Ditka where if he would have ran for a certain seat, for the Chicago, I think it was Chicago Senate or Chicago Legislate, that Barack Obama wouldn't have become president.
Whoa. So he's like the most progressive person ever?
No, apparently there was a city Senate seat city seat that he was up for and that they wanted him to run for, and apparently Barack Obama was running for the same seat.
Oh,
and
shit.
If Ditka would have ran in Chicago, who do you think would have won?
I mean, fucking Tito Ortiz was the mayor of Huntington Beach like
Absolutely.
6 months ago.
Absolutely. You
know
what I mean?
Mike Ditka all day.
Jesse Ventura was a governor.
Yeah.
It's highly probable.
Yeah, you're telling me Vince Young couldn't be the mayor of Austin?
Oh, absolutely he could be the mayor of Austin.
If he wanted to.
Yeah, for sure. Mac Brown could do it.
Yeah.
And he's like 80.
Yeah.
But yeah, so apparently if Ditka would have ran, it's plausible to believe that he would have won, and Obama wouldn't have won that seat. Therefore, derailing Obama's career and stopping the progression that ended up leading with him in the White House.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, what if we put this clip out and then everyone just starts burning Ditka jerseys racist? They're like, you're the reason we had a black president, you piece of shit.
I hope they don't disprove me quickly because I remember reading that. But I also, like, who knows if it's 100% true. But it's what I heard.
So you're telling me Mike Ditka was almost the gubernatorial seat in the Senate for O-Block, who would have been in charge of Chief Keef in Southside Chicago? He was going to clean up the mean streets of Chicago?
Yep.
That would have been sick.
Nobody could have done it better than Ditka, dude.
No.
Yeah, Ditka would have been the man for the job. It's the 85 Bears.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 85 Bears.
Yeah.
I believe in Dick.
I bet you do, buddy. I bet you do. Oh man, yeah, this is a crazy week too in the NFL. But besides like a bunch of injuries. I mean, like we had some bad injuries happen to our team.
Yeah,
but we had the first injury in a while that I stood up and I fucking cheered for. Deshaun Watson, dude.
There's not a single person that's associated with sports that's not mildly happy about this injury except Jameis Winston. Did you see his interview?
Yeah, but he like has to say that.
Mama, when I was growing up, they told me, don't you ever look at a man when he down like that. I love it.
He has to say that as his teammate. Also,
Dude.
I think he has sexual assault allegations.
So
So he has to be like, you know, God looks down on you when you're low. It depends if you see no footsteps or 2 footsteps carrying you. Like he's got to say something cliche like that. There was also, I think like Field Yates or like.
Dude, Jameis Winston is the Southern preacher that slaps your wife's ass when she leaves the congregation. When she leaves,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Thank you for coming, baby.
And when you go to get mad, he goes, "That wasn't from me. That was from God.
God smacked that
God
ass.
bless your wife.
I am a conduit of the Lord. My hands speak for him. I've got 5 fingers of destiny right here that are meant to slap her ass.
He had to say that. There was also like a few of those like, it's not Orlovsky, but like, you know, like a Dan Orlovsky, like a guy who was like a pretty shit quarterback, but hung around the league for a while.
Had moments.
Yeah,
had
and
his
then
moments.
becomes an analyst
Yeah.
and bounces around things. One of those guys was on
Like
there.
Tim Hasselbeck.
Yeah, someone was online, you know, a couple of those guys were like, I can't believe fans are rooting for an injury. No matter what happens on or off the field, you should never root. And it was like, hey, like, why die on this hill?
Hey,
Why
dude.
are you defending the rapist?
Hey, dude, if 26 women are standing up and cheering
Yeah.
for a man that just blew an Achilles, maybe you should ask why.
Yeah. Hey, why are you dying on the hill to defend Deshaun Watson? He's a rapist.
Yeah.
Why did you?
Even if rape is a hard word,
Yeah.
I think the term like that they use is over sexual assaultist.
Yes.
Okay, or sexual
Yeah.
assaulter.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, and I'm not trying to take away from what he did. I'm not trying to fucking sugarcoat it. I think the guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
But I think there's a big difference between wearing a tiny towel and, you know, trying to get someone to fill you up than pushing them against the wall and forcing yourself on them.
Definitely.
And we don't know what happened in those rooms.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, I don't want to even get into that, to be
Yeah.
honest, because I haven't read the fucking court docs.
Mhm.
And until I do, I don't want an opinion.
I read him. He's guilty. He's guilty. I'm pretty sure he's guilty. Yeah, it was the one moment where I was like, look, dude, look in your heart and tell me deep down, you once haven't had the Panthers playing a pivotal matchup and someone on the other team has gotten hurt and you're like, no, yes. No,
Buddy.
he's hurt. Yes.
Buddy, so many times. I watched Julius Peppers rupture Chris Sims' spleen.
Yeah.
Chris Sims has never played, or played like maybe twice,
Yeah.
since Julius Peppers hit him.
Yeah. And you went, oh no, he's hurt. Oh, yes, thank God. Oh, fuck no, so tragic. Oh, thank God. Yeah, I've been in a fantasy matchup and had someone go down and be like, oh my God, thank God, I'm going to win the fantasy matchup. They got hurt. It happens all the time,
Yeah.
but we're not supposed to do it. And we know, and it feels wrong and you feel bad. And you know, it's that like, what goes around comes around.
Injuries are such a real fucking part of the
Mhm,
game.
mhm.
You know what I mean? I don't like that notion where like you can't root for a guy that just got injured. It's like, no, my guy could get injured too.
Yeah,
You
don't
know?
like, but this was the one time where like the fans, you could hear it on the broadcast, were cheering as he got like not like, oh my God, he's getting up. Like they were like, yeah,
Buddy.
fuck this guy.
Not only were they cheering, they were yelling, "Fuck you, Watson."
Were they?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw like someone there was some fake videos going around where like someone photoshopped in, like it got community noted, but someone put out a video where you could hear him going, "You're a rapist."
Yeah.
And then it was like, this video has been doctored. This is like audio from like a 2019 World Cup game or something. You know
Oh,
you know
man.
how they do over there
Yeah.
in Europe. But like
You didn't notice from the accent? You're a rapist.
Yeah, it was like the one time where I was like, boys, like, just enjoy it. Let's like I was hyped. You could cheer. The Browns fans had to be happy. He was just being forced to be their starter. He was forcefully shoved upon 26 women, and then he was being forcefully shoved upon 100,000 Browns fans. So it's nice to just see Deshaun Watson not ruining people's lives for the next, I don't know, 13 to 14 months. Here is the funny part, though. Next year, $76 million cap hit. Following year, $76 million cap hit. Can you do anything to prevent that? Nope. Could you cut him? Nope. Could you trade him? Nope. Could you restructure the contract? Nope. $152 million guaranteed for him next 2 years. No matter what. No matter what. No matter what.
It's one of the worst transactions in the history of sports. Not just football.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the worst transactions in the history of sports. To give up, it's probably the most.
You think it goes Deshaun Watson, Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah. Well, Louisiana Purchase was great.
Trade. Yeah.
Louisiana Purchase was great for us.
Yeah, but you think for the French?
For French, yeah,
yeah.
It's up there, dude. No, this is like getting a 300-pound Russian mail-order bride.
Oh yeah,
okay. That's what this is.
Yeah.
This is like getting a Russian bride. Like you spend $500,000 on a woman with a face scar and 6 kids.
You got a retired porn star as your wife.
Absolutely.
She can't fuck no more.
You got
she
someone
maxed out.
You bought someone from Putin's sex dungeon.
Yeah, you got your quarterback on Temu, and that's your fault for having a Wish.com quarterback.
I mean, what in the fuck were you thinking? $240 million for a dude committed. Like, it's a bad PR move. He's not known as he was never like I would say he was top 10 quarterback 2 seasons, 3 seasons maybe. But he also, look at the fucking squad he had.
Yeah,
you know, like he had fucking DeAndre Hopkins, who at that time is glue.
Yeah,
like that man
in his prime. He had him in his prime.
Absolutely.
They had some guys, and he was good. I mean, I remember, like, I really was like, I want the Eagles, because there was a rumor that the Eagles were gonna maybe get him. They were like one of the front runners.
The Panthers were too,
for like him and Russell Wilson, and I like very badly wanted them to get Russ or Watson, and they didn't, and that's why Howie Roseman is the GM and I'm not, because I was like. But I mean, yeah, just giving him the guaranteed money, it is the crazy part of that, because I don't understand.
I think they had to so that he could pay off the sexual assault allegations.
Yeah, I mean, I just look, like, I understand he was holding out and teams wanted him and they were vying for him, but I just don't understand how there wasn't, like I feel like the Browns had leverage to be like, look, we traded for you and we gave up a fuck ton. We're not giving you guaranteed money. You haven't played in a year. You still have pending allegations that could result in further suspensions.
And it did. They lost him for a whole season.
Yeah, and it's like they could have.
Most of the season.
They could have. Yeah, he got hurt like immediately when he came in, and then it's like they should have had something worked out in his contract to be like, look, we can give you, like, you're going to have to give him, they gave him a $250 million contract. You were going to have to give him $100 to $150 million guaranteed, no matter what. It's a quarterback, a starting quarterback. But if you did that, you could have walked away clean free.
Yeah.
Because that's all the thing with these NFL contracts. Everyone signs, 5 years, $125 million. $75 million guaranteed. Yeah. So what that means is they're really signed to a 2-year contract, and then they will, or a 2 or 3 year contract, and then they'll look for an extension or demand a trade, or the team will cut them. It's really a 3-year.
But the incentives is really where it kicks in.
Yeah.
The incentives is everything in those
contracts.
You
can get $200 million more guaranteed if you don't rape anyone this offseason. You fucking psychopath. Like, it was just, that is gonna be the worst contract in NFL history. It's going to be up there with Bobby Bonilla. You know that one, right? Yeah, the Bobby Bonilla day that goes to like 2030. Like,
yeah. The Gilbert Arenas deal was really bad. Gilbert Arenas was getting paid for years and years after he was done. There's been a bunch. There was one I'm trying to think of. Was it Ken Griffey Jr. or somebody?
Yeah, he got paid forever.
Forever.
Yeah,
Daryl Strawberry might have been one that got paid forever.
The Angels had like the terrible Albert Pujols contract. He retired like 3 or 4 years ago, but they have like he had some incentive in his contract where as long as he stays around in some coaching capacity. So what he's done is every year he does this spring training like hitting coach, and then they owe him $1 million for the next 12 seasons also to pay him in like as like a coaching stipend.
Dude, Pujols made so much money.
Yeah. Yeah, he made so much money. And he was like really good with the Cardinals. Like we just didn't look hard enough into his birth certificate, and we got him not at 29, we got him at like 35. That motherfucker's lying about his age. I'm convinced. He was immobile by the end of his career. He was like 35 years old and couldn't run. Dude, Derrick Henry is like 20,000 carries deep. You play baseball and you play DH half your career. Shut the fuck up and run to first base.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry is a different. I don't think he can be compared to normal humans at this point.
No, but I mean, just there's so many running backs that played into their mid-30s with
taking all that contact,
and you're playing first base, third base, and DH.
Yeah.
And a little bit of outfield.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Wake the fuck up. Who you got, Yankees or Dodgers? We got to do baseball talk.
I got the Doyers. Yeah, I got the Doyers.
They seem like, I think Yankees are going to take game one. Garrett Cole's going to come out and pitch a great game.
I'm with you on that, but I think Shohei is the equalizer there. I don't think
their lineup's too good.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way you can get around.
In their elimination game, but game 6 against the Mets, they had a rookie who's hitting like their number 8 hitter hit 2 2-run home runs.
Yeah.
Like everyone in their lineup can hit. Everyone in their lineup is a threat.
And Shohei's going to pitch again next year, right?
Yeah.
He's not pitching this year, right? Yeah.
He won't pitch at all this year. But, I mean, the crazy thing is like they don't have like 5 starters. They do bullpen games, which is like normally something like the worst team in the league does, but they just do a bullpen game and win. Yeah. It's so bizarre. They're really good. I think they'll win in like 5 or 6, but I think the Yankees are going to come out. I'm going to put money down on the Yankees to come out and win this first game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees can get 1. I got Dodgers 2 and 3, and then maybe the Yankees could take 4, but
yeah, because I don't know who has home field advantage, but it goes 2-3.
Who won the All-Star game?
The AL won this year.
Oh, so AL has.
Okay, yeah. So it goes 2-3-1-1-1.
Okay,
is how the MLB goes. So
okay,
it'll be interesting to see how that ends up. But yeah, I'm gonna be rooting for the Dodgers. It's kind of hard to root for either one too much. I'm just like close to the area of LA.
Yeah, it's like it's like Palpatine versus Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the way Vader looks a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Do I want my wife to fuck this little scrawny nerd, or do I want my wife to fuck this huge ripped jack guy? Either way, I'm not excited to watch my wife get fucked.
Yeah.
You know, there's not really a win in this unless you're a cuck.
Are the Dodgers the huge jack guy?
Yeah. Yeah. They spend a little bit more money, you know. and I'm an Angels fan, so like they're big brother. You know what I mean?
I would pull for the Cubs growing up just because of WGN. And I hated the Braves. Yeah. I hated the Braves.
I hated the Dodgers growing up, but there was like a real rivalry back when the Angels were like not dog shit. It was fun. You know, it's like 35, 40 minutes. And then early on, they did that marketing deal to become the Los Angeles Angels to up their cap space, which then they're based in Anaheim. They're across the street from the Anaheim Ducks, but it took them from the 16th salary cap to the 5th. It was a great move. Not that it resulted in anything positive, but besides the money, team's been shit. But like that only upped the rivalry. But then what sucked is it was only good for 2 or 3 years, and then it's like not, because it's either like the Angels get shit on or like the Angels win and it's like winning the World Series for the Angels, and the Dodgers are like, cool, you beat us, have fun watching us in October. Yeah. And you're kind of just like, fuck, man, you're right. Yeah, like, cool, we beat you guys this season, but we also lost 100 games. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. It's baseball talk, NBA talk.
It's opening
season, opening game tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Lakers versus the Wolves. Celtics versus
I love Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is what basketball needs. Yeah. We need 20 ants in the NBA.
Yeah, I like that he's an asshole.
I love it. Yeah. I want more assholes that are athletes. Marshawn Lynch is one of my favorite personalities in the history of football. Yeah. Because he's funny, but he's fucking real. And he's not pretending for your sake.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what a lot of athletes have to do, where they have to mask who they are and like their personalities and all these things, because it might not be digestible through the everyday fan, right?
Yeah.
The person that's just meat and potatoes isn't going to like somebody like Cam.
Yeah.
That's just an asparagus, cauliflower fucking hybrid.
Yeah. My dad hated Cam Newton.
I loved Cam.
I loved Cam Newton. What's funny is not, and I weirdly don't, this is going to sound maybe racist, but I truly think he couldn't stand the way he dressed.
Yeah.
And I think it had nothing, it's not like, oh, he dressed like a black guy. He just was like, my dad would be like, those are the most trash outfits I've ever seen. And listen, my dad wears beige shorts, sandals, and like a graphic tee everywhere he goes. That's his nicest outfit is just that with a collared shirt. He's not a connoisseur of clothes by any means, but he can accept a cool outfit. He likes when people, but he just was like, his thing is he would be like, you can't dress like that and lose 37-10. And he's like, I can't take you seriously. And he goes, you come out and you give these like prophetic answers. He'd be like, you lost by 20. Just stop acting like that. And I was like, I kind of get it. You do sound like a racist white guy, but I get what you're saying.
Oh, dude, I remember watching the Super Bowl, and I have a thing like when Carolina's in the Super Bowl, it's happened twice.
Yeah.
When Carolina's in the Super Bowl, I don't want to be, like, even in the playoffs, I don't want to be around a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay? But there's people that like, hey, we're having a huge party. There's Panthers fans and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I don't want to go. But then your girlfriend finds out, and you end up going to a fucking party, and I'm sitting there, and I don't want to be there. I want to be at home watching the game in private where I can emote.
Yes.
You know, where I can, like, if I want to cry, I want to cry.
Yes.
I've waited so long for my Panthers to be in the Super Bowl. 2015 league MVP. We had Josh Norman, Luke Kuechly, Charles Johnson. Fucking, we had squad.
Yes.
Okay, we had Jonathan Stewart and Greg Olsen. I'm just so fucking stoked. And I got to sit in there with a bunch of Broncos fans.
Yeah.
You know? And one of the dudes was like, yeah, well, I'm not either fan, but, you know, at least a white guy won this year. At least a white quarterback won. And I'm like, dude, that's racist.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's not racist for being pro-white. I'm like, well, you're not pro-white. You're anti-black.
Yeah.
That's the fucking difference.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, well, you know, you can be this and that. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. I was like, no, you don't get to hate my black quarterback.
Yeah. You got to take pride in it.
Absolutely. But also, I cried in front of a lot of people during that game.
Yeah. That was why I stormed out of the bar when the Eagles lost to the Chiefs. I was like, no one's going to see me cry.
Well, we didn't talk about this, but I want to talk about it. We went to watch a game together the other day. Me and you watched UT in Georgia. At the Blind Pig.
Yeah, we'll wrap on this.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I love being.
I didn't realize what a menace you are.
I can be a troll. It's bad.
Dude, you are a fucking menace at a game. Dude, you are gonna cause me to get into a fight.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty good at avoiding the fights because I do it the entire time with a smile on my face. So
but you lean in,
and
Bubba.
most of the people know I'm joking, and so what I do is
those Georgia fans did not know you were joking. I could see them turning around with malice.
See, but I think like there was like the group of Georgia fans, and a lot hated me, but I think there was also a group that were like, oh, he's just being a cunt. And so what you got to do is you got to get those guys to start liking you because they start going, hey man, it's just a joke. And then now you have other Georgia fans on your side somehow, and then you cannibalize them on them, and that's how you get out of the fight. You got to build allies through. You got to let them be like, this guy's
buddy. This is a beautiful mind level trolling.
Yes, it is.
This is trigonometry.
Yeah, because for those, because I didn't explain it, but like we somehow in Austin we go to like a sports bar and it's a Georgia bar.
Yeah.
And props to them. They just wanted money. They threw up Georgia flags. The next day, the Georgia flags were down. They were like, we just wanted to show people live music and give people a home here in Austin. No, you wanted their money, but that's cool. You wanted money. But there was a ton of Georgia fans. And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to be a troll. So like, you know, before the game, they were like, woo, woo, go dogs, go dogs. So then every time like a Georgia player would throw an incompletion, like a bad pass, I'd be like, yeah, go dogs, go dogs. And I'd do it in that voice.
Every time.
Like they'd turn it over. And like they were, us, like for a little bit, UT was handling them. Like at least the first quarter, it was close. So like they were going 3 and out. They were throwing picks, and they threw a pick. And I was like, yeah, go dogs. And bro,
And then
people,
right around halftime, you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, around halftime we started to go down, and I saw the writing on the wall, and I could see people start to be like, "Yeah, bitch," and I was starting to lose my allies because we were falling down.
You had lost everything. You were alone.
Yeah,
dude.
so then
you were over there on Go Dog Island.
I'm a master troll. So what did he do, dude?
Actually, there was one person there with you. I take that back. There was one person on that island with you, and that's Erica.
Yeah, Erica was like, "This is hilarious. I'll back him up the whole time."
She loves it, dude.
Yeah. Because she's been with me 7.5 years. She knows there's no fighting it.
Yeah.
She knows you can either join it or fight it. And why fight it when you can join it, you know?
Oh, it was so funny.
But yeah, I saw the writing on the wall and I evac'd out of there because I was like, because here's also the thing. I don't care about UT that much.
No.
If it was the Eagles, like I would have been talking more aggressive shit, unfortunately. That probably would, like I would have stayed. I would have known more about the game. So I can talk shit when my team's losing when it's the Eagles. But like UT, I don't even know like what our center's name is. I don't know who the number 3 wide receiver is. I don't know who plays linebacker. So like I don't care enough to where like I was like, all right, well I might have to pay for my sins and get into some arguments here and I can't back it up. So let's go home and watch this.
Buddy, I forget what it's like as a sports fan to be proud enough to yell at somebody else during a game.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah, you've been beaten down where you forget about it, but it's a good feeling.
Like I'm actually like I'm hurting for the other people because I'm the other person now. I'm the one that's sitting over there with his team losing 41-0 to the fucking Commanders. And there's Commanders fans in the bar going like, "Booyah, bitch!" And I'm like, dude, I'm already hurt.
Yeah, you can't hurt me more than they have.
Yeah.
Well, here's something exciting to end the podcast on. We'll be recording on November 11th, which is a Monday. On November 10th, I will be at the Eagles-Cowboys game in enemy territory. So maybe I'll be doing the pod with a black eye or like a shank wound. Who knows?
Oh, buddy.
Oh, I'm going to be an asshole at that game.
Oh, buddy. Jerry Jones is going to snipe you.
Yeah.
Pull out his golden sniper rifle.
Ooh, dude, I'm going to be there with like a timer and be like, another minute passed. Dak Prescott just wasted another $1.2 million of your money, you fucking losers. Like, I'm going to go into Super Troll. I'm going to look up facts. I'm going to find out Dak's. I saw he got engaged. Got to find out his wife's name. Got to yell her name.
Buddy, the NFL knew what they were doing when they put that engagement picture up.
Yeah.
I hauled ass to the comments.
Yeah.
I could not run to the comment section fast enough to see how many people have made that ring got picked off before it made it on her finger.
Yeah. Yeah, that yeah, definitely gonna keep that in the bag. Might include Erica, might hold her hand up and be like, "Dak, look at this ring. Not gonna see many more of these in your life, loser."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So many people being like, that's the only ring he'll ever get.
Yeah.
It's just fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to figure out a concise way to be like, you can win another ring, but it'll be after your wife divorces you on your third marriage. But I got to find a concise way to yell that at him and hurt his feelings.
Somebody said, well, we know she's not marrying a winner. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. There's not like any go dogs type thing. I need like a simple thing in a dumb accent I can do. Oh,
what is that?
We them boys. We them boys. Yeah, I'll find. I just got to figure out my Dallas accent.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? I love boys. All these fans in here. Ooh, these strong men love little boys.
What you need to do is, remember Willy Wonka? You remember the kid that Mike TV, the one that had the little guns and the cowboy hat. You need to dress like that. Yeah. And every time they make it like a bad play, you go, woo, boom, 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 and just shoot them all.
Yeah. We them boys. What are you guys, pedophiles? That's gonna be my go-to. It's just anytime someone says we them boys, I'll be like, oh, so you're a pedophile?
No, just change it. We in them boys.
All right, yeah, that's good. Yeah, if you guys have any things I can yell at Cowboys fans, please let me know. Other than that, rate, review, subscribe to the podcast. We'll keep you guys updated on our fantasy team to see if they survive these.
We know how badly you guys care.
Yeah, how much they give a fuck. But yeah, other than that, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Technically Foul.
Be good.